up guys, Blaze Fitness here, back with another video. 6 easy steps that you can take to get healthy today. Easy steps, alright? Everyone can do these. So we're back with this video. We already improved the microphone, lighting, camera, so we're quick learners here on this channel. So let's get right into it. 6 easy steps that you can take to get healthier. Step number 1 is walking. Just go for walks, okay? People underrate this step a lot. People think it's running or nothing, right? But that's really not the case. You've all heard of 10,000 steps. I'm not specifically pro going for a certain number necessarily, but go for walks. It's the easiest way, in my opinion, to burn calories, right? You don't get sweaty, you don't get tired. You can do it while you're doing other things, which is one of my favorite parts of walking. I like to do it, if I have to make a phone call or take a phone call. Maybe I'm drinking a coffee in the morning, or just planning my day, or even just listening to music. It's great for burning calories, and it's also good for just mentally getting yourself in a good headspace. Like sometimes if I'm working for too long, or if I'm sitting at my desk for too long, I'll just go for a couple-minute walk. And when I come back, my head is in a much better space. Pop in your earbuds, listen to some good music, go for a little walk once or twice a day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's not hard. You won't get sweaty, right? You can just keep going with your day, keep rolling along, and you will burn some calories and get healthier. Step number 2 is cut back on alcohol. Now, this one admittedly is a bit harder than the other steps. I can make a whole video about my own struggles or journey, if you want to call it, with alcohol. It's really much better now than it used to be, but we know that it can affect your liver, right? But in your physical fitness journey, it can make a big difference, a big impact. So there's 2 ways. First of all is the calories. There's a lot of calories in alcohol, and generally you don't have a little bit at a time. You're usually going to have a lot at a time. You usually have it with food, alongside it, so that's also going to add up to a lot more calories. Number 2 is if you're in a fat burning state and you drink alcohol, your body needs to burn it out, so it's actually going to stop burning the calories and the fat by extension, and it's going to burn out the alcohol instead, which means you're limiting yourself and your ability to be in a good state of fat burning. So also, if you wake up the next day hungover, or not really in the mood to work out, or you're not going to be as healthy necessarily the next day. So there's just a bunch of ways that alcohol has a negative impact on your physical fitness level. So really, if you can cut down, I'm not saying you have to never drink at all, but there's a difference between going hard 3 times a week and drinking once a month, twice a month, just a little bit, be in control. For your mental health as well, but certainly for your physical health, it's really important. Step number 3 to get healthier is drink more water. Now, drinking water has a ton of health benefits. Obviously, it's going to keep you hydrated better than every other kind of drink. It's going to make you feel more full and have less cravings, right? A lot of times we think we're hungry, but we're really just thirsty and dehydrated. But other than that, it's also drinking water as opposed to other things, right? So if you're someone who's very into drinking soda, or those coffees from Dunkin' Donuts, right? Or whatever, pick your poison, right? Snapple, whatever it is, those drinks, if you ever take a second to look, you'll see how many calories are in those drinks, and those are empty calories. They're not helping you feel full, they're not helping you get hydrated, they're not helping you with anything, right? You're just drinking them, you feel the same, but you just added a bunch of wasted calories essentially. So drink a lot of water. You have to preemptively drink water, meaning before you feel thirsty, you have to be drinking already. You can't wait till you're thirsty start realizing now I have to drink, because that means you're already dehydrated. One way to know if you're dehydrated is the color of your urine actually. So if it's very yellow, that can be an indication of you too dehydrated. Another thing to keep in mind is coffee and caffeine actually, and alcohol both are diuretics, which means they're going to force water out of your system and they're going to make you very dehydrated. So it's important if you're drinking those things. I treat coffee the same way I treat alcohol, which is you need to drink water before and after, right? Like a chaser almost. So if you have a coffee in the morning, that's fine. I do it every morning, but make sure you're having your 2 cups of water with your coffee in the morning. It's a great habit to start, and it's going to make you really healthy. It's an easy one because eventually over time you just subconsciously start going to get more water, drinking more throughout the day, but it's a really important one, so make sure you drink your water. Step number 5 is to eat more protein. Now, protein to me is like the magical macronutrient. They're all important. You need to have protein, fats, and carbs in your diet to be healthy. But protein is super special, right? If you ever think of bodybuilding, often you associate it with protein, a lot of protein shakes or chicken or whatever they're eating. But the reason protein is so important for everyone, not just bodybuilders, is because it's going to keep you full the longest. So if you have a meal, I've told people, you can't overeat on protein as well as you can overeat on carbs. Meaning if you try to eat 10 eggs, you're going to have a difficult time. But if you try to eat 4 slices of pizza, or whatever the equivalent is, that'll be a lot easier. Personally for me, I can't really do either, but that's because I don't have much of an appetite. But that's not usually the case. Anyway, protein's super important. It's going to keep you full. It's going to help you build muscle. It's going to help you with recovery, right? And if you base your meals around protein, that's really a good place to start to get into a healthier nutritional place. And even your snacks, right? As much as possible, it's very unlikely to overeat protein. It's very unlikely. At pretty much worst case scenario, you're not going to use all of it, but that's even pretty unlikely as well. Chances are you're eating too little. Most of us are eating too little protein. I like to recommend 1 gram per pound of body weight, depending on your goals, but protein is not something you're going to overeat in, so really as much as possible try and get protein. You can get it from fish, you can get it from meat, chicken, you can get it from some vegetables, some legumes, You can get it from protein powder, which I think everyone should have. There's no reason not to. I don't even think it's a supplement really. So yeah, make sure you get your protein as much as possible. Step number 6 to getting healthier is to start reading nutrition labels. The reason for this is awareness, okay? If I ask the average person how many calories did they eat today, they won't be able to tell me an answer. So the more you can look at those nutrition labels, the more you will be aware of what you're eating, how much you're eating, and also which foods are healthier. So the things to look for is obviously the calories. Make sure you look at the serving so that you're not confused, because sometimes they put down different amounts. And you can look for protein on there, and also just look at how much calories per serving size. For example, if you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you look up in the wall, you'll see easily you can put away 1,000 calories in one order. Whereas if you get something healthier, let's say you get fish or chicken or whatever it is, and you make it at home, those are the things that are going to have much less calories and be more filling. So you want to look for the lower calorie options pretty much where you can. And if you do this over time, subconsciously you start to just automatically look at the nutrition labels, and you'll see your awareness will grow and your choices will become better over time, making you a healthier person. Tip number 6 to help you get healthier is to start reading more nutrition labels. Now, the reason for this is simply awareness, okay? if I ask the average person how many calories they ate that day, they won't be able to tell me. And that's just the way it is. People eat mindlessly and they don't really think about how much they're eating or what they're eating, the quality, the quantity, etc. But if you just start reading labels, not even, every single time you eat, just start slowly. Start, at breakfast, let's say. You're eating cereal. Look at the label. See first of all, check out how many calories it has, but more importantly also the serving size, because you have to know how many calories per serving, right? Certain serving sizes are different, it could be misleading. So make sure you're checking out the ratio of calories per serving size, and if you want to focus on protein, look at the ratio of protein to calories as well. So those things are so important, and over time you start doing it subconsciously. You just start looking at labels more and being much more aware of what you're eating, so that if you go to like a Dunkin' Donuts and you look up on the wall and you see the list of calories, you're going to start thinking, wow, that's insane. Like, you can put away 1,000 calories there without even blinking, right? I've seen it. People do it many times. And then, as opposed to if you look at, start to eat healthier and you'll look at the calorie numbers, you'll see my calories are coming down. They're much more manageable. I'm much more in control of what I'm eating, and therefore you'll get healthier over time just by raising your awareness of what you're actually eating. The awesome thing about these steps to get healthier is that you don't have to do all of them at once. You can actually just pick one or two to start off with, and just by implementing those in your daily life as much as possible, you will see big changes in your health, and over time you can strive to do 3, 4, as many as you can. So just pick one or two that really seems like you'd be able to do those consistently. Start doing it, start focusing on it, and you will see big changes over time. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and you have an awesome day. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and let me know which of these steps you are going to be taking to get healthier.